Bonsoir YouTube, on est parti pour le 3e épisode de Disco Elysium. Pas mal, hein? Nice. Je trouve qu'il y a des trucs un peu insane. Il me semble que, ça y est, on avait gagné 3 barres de machin, mais je sais absolument pas pourquoi. On a la tasse. On a la tasse, on a le cliché des tatouages. Au niveau de nos niveaux, bon, on n'avait pas de points supplémentaires. Le son, il est fort des... Ça doit être volume de l'interface, non? Toin. 20 sur 100. 15h34, on était où déjà de nos quêtes? Faut trouver de la thune. Découvrir un numéro de série sur les bots. Utiliser la radio pour identifier le numéro de série. On peut faire ça. Interroger Kim à propos de l'affaire. Les agents de police briefés, c'est vrai. On reste de l'armure. L'armure disparue. Demander à Kuno ce qu'il en sait. Décrocher de cadavres. Remplacer la boule perdue. Vous ne savez pas vraiment que jouer René et Gaston, vous avez lancé leur boule de pétanque. Tatouage. Demandez aux gens la possible signification. C'est pas les passages de Whirling. Oh là là. Se renseigner sur la réalité. Vous n'avez pas la moindre idée de l'endroit où vous êtes. Lena vous encourage à demander aux autres de vous expliquer le monde dans ce moins de détails. Très bien. Discutons avec Jean-Pierre. Yes. Parlez-moi de l'affaire.
What do you want to know?
Absolument tout et n'importe quoi.
Yes. The case brief you missed. Now I remember.
Un briefing, oui, ça me convient.
3 days ago, the RCM Emergencies Desk received a report about a security guard who was found hanged in Martinez. An anonymous caller said there was a dead body behind the Whirling and Rags hostel cafeteria. The cadaver had been there for 4 days. No one had come to investigate. During that time, the victim had been stripped of his belongings. The caller did not identify him, but used the word lynching. There is an ongoing labor dispute between the local dock workers and the logistics company Wild Pines. I was told we should approach the death as part of this dispute.
Pourquoi on ne sait rien de la personne qui a appelé?
They didn't identify themselves in any way. The tone was muffled using a device of some sort. The desk could identify neither the caller's age nor sex.
Pourquoi cette personne n'a-t-elle pas révélé son identité?
There's a strong prejudice against involving the RCM in what's seen as union matters. The dock workers union is the de facto police in Martinez. Now it appears they've started executing too. We cannot allow that.
Notre travail consiste à retrouver le tueur.
Right.
Pourquoi travaille-t-on sur la même affaire si on vient de postes différents? Ça marche, je t'avais dit. Des bisous. Tu joues à quoi là? Ah, Yo Esteban. Qu'est-ce que tu veux dire par là?
You don't know? I assumed you were in on it.
C'est bien que je suis atteint d'amnésie. Un concours de keuf.
It's just stupidity.
Quel genre de
The
stupidité?
cop kind. Our precincts can't decide if Martinez is part of Jamrock or the Industrial Harbor. Yours or mine, as if we somehow own parts of the city. Typical street gang mentality. So we've let the union make a mockery of law enforcement here. and now it's come to its natural conclusion.
Ah, c'est donc une lutte de pour savoir qui a le contrôle.
Sort of. It's less a matter of who gets to police Martinez than who has to. It's an orphan district, in other words. I think the dispatch desk just told both our stations about the hanging. There was quite the brouhaha at the 57th, I can tell you that. Time to settle it, they said. Cop off. But I assure you, I am not their finest or toughest with 100...
So he volunteered to represent the 57th, but not out of competitiveness. On the contrary.
Ayons fin cochère. Incroyable. Tu m'as pas dit sur quoi t'avais joué, Eddie? Le fait que j'ai été envoyé par mon poste, qu'est-ce qu'on dit à mon sujet? Il fronce les sourcils, pensant qu'il ne veut pas laisser, vous laisser parler d'abord. Il n'y a qu'une seule conclusion, je suis une machine évoluée qui résout des affaires envoyées pour vous mettre la pâtée.
Good joke.
Un jeu bizarre. Hein. Ça... C'était une blague, bien sûr. Je n'ai eu mon intention d'être en concurrence avec vous.
Set this thing aside. Was there anything else you wanted to ask about the competition? If not, we should move.
Qu'est-ce que Martinez a-t-il spécial?
Nothing. It's just a puddle at the end of some drain pipe. No one cares about this place. They care about sports. Most of our colleagues don't even know how to get here. North of the interchange doesn't exist. Yes, it's a wholly pointless matter.
Le concours de Zob. Ça marche, Faco. Pourrait tenter.
Because you're the best qualified. No, that doesn't seem right.
Non, c'est logique, je suis bien trop qualifié.
Well qualified, why can't you remember why you were sent? Anyway, don't keep the lieutenant waiting.
Je veux qu'on parle de vous.
I don't see how my life is pertinent to the investigation.
Travailler mieux ensemble si on se connaît pas mieux.
That's a fair point. All right, for the good of the investigation, what do you want to know?
Porter les lunettes.
That's correct.
You feel a slight urge to put the lieutenant down for this, but you can't quite muster enough testosterone.
Porter les lunettes, c'est cool.
They are mostly just cumbersome.
On se plaît pas aux gens
That's
d'ici.
because I'm half Seolite, or quarter. My father's father was from Seoul. So was my grandmother, but from my mother's side.
C'est quoi Seoul?
It's a part of the world, officer. A geopolitical entity and a geographic division. I told you it wouldn't be interesting.
Seoul is a protectionist, isolationist, pan-Isolari state west of the Insulindian Isola. Actually, it's quite interesting. Some would even say mysterious.
On est en enquêteur qui a un peu forcé sur l'alcool et qui a une perte de mémoire. Et on enquête sur un meurtre. Et on parle un peu à tout le monde, on essaye de décortiquer un peu tout le bordel. En même temps, on apprend un peu, on essaye d'apprendre notre vie, d'apprendre la vie des gens, d'apprendre la géopolitique, qu'est-ce qui se passe, tout ça, tout ça. C'est vous qui rendez ça barbant.
You're barking up the wrong tree. I don't speak a word of Seolite. I've never met either one of my grandparents, and I've never been to Seoul. I'm a regular Bachelier.
Dites-moi un sucré, ouais. Ah. Je leur demandais.
Your brain sends the signal to your lips, but they refuse the order. Something is paralyzing them. It's like you're locked down.
Il m'arrive-t-il?
Something the matter, detective?
What's going on?
Ah merde.
It's like you're a puppet in his hands.
Intéressant, intéressant.
The
L'autorité, très
lieutenant
intéressant
relaxes
là-dessus.
his eyebrow, and you seem to regain control of yourself.
Ça vous arrive de parler de
What do
vous-même?
you mean?
Vous savez, quand vous êtes en train de penser, ça vous arrive d'avoir des conversations avec votre
I
cerveau?
have no idea what you are talking
The lieutenant's
Lieutenant.
conceptualization skills must be rather rudimentary.
Vous êtes en train de me dire que votre cerveau ne vous donne jamais de conseils ou d'avertissements ou quoi que ce soit?
I can't say that it does, no. When I need to think, I just use my notebook.
The lieutenant produces his small blue notebook and idly thumbs through a few. We all have our different mediums. His is written. You're super lucid, yet psychedelic. You don't need office supplies to connect to your nervous system. You're special.
Ah ouais.
Let's change the subject.
Merci. F5! La voiture!
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge.
Décrochez la radio.
57, how may I assist you?
Pouvez-vous vérifier pour moi une paire de numéros de série pour moi le numéro de série d'une paire de bottes cuirassées?
Sure, officer. What's the number? And the make of the armor, if you know it.
Le 50-100 000 et le fabricant modèle d'armure Fairweather T500.
Got it. I'll contact the ICP database immediately. Call back tomorrow. Hopefully they'll have dug up something useful by then.
The International Collaboration Police, ICP, is an inter-Isolari law enforcement service, the crown jewel in the moral intern diadem, alongside EPIS and the coalition government.
J'avais fini avec la radio.
57th, over and out.
In the cabin, you see a set of steering levers, a radio on a hook, a pull. As you tap
Putain,
on
on
the
avait fait
gauge,
ça
the
pourtant.
indicator pin jerks.
No, that's enough.
Très bien. Donc ça c'est bon. Maintenant on était où? Dans un jour, donc ça c'est plus tard. Qui a jeté les vêtements? Faut que j'aille voir Kuno là. Tatouage de la victime. Ah putain, j'ai pas fait ce premier truc. Au mess du Whirling in Rags. Ah et puis j'ai les tatouages aussi là, vas-y.
It's raining again. It was clear just an hour ago.
Ouais.
Oh, okay. Thanks for keeping me.
Comment on fait? Il faut que j'ai la photo dans les mains?
An
Interagir?
intricate web of blue lines stretches across the. It still kind of looks like a map of the stars in the night sky, but something's gone. For you to. Someone who knows about history could tell you.
Ok. Je peux parler à ce mec. Tommy le homme. Un peu trop complexe à mon goût. Ouais, je comprends. Bah, PO, ouais, c'est un jeu complexe. Après, si t'arrives à pas te foutre la pression et à juste progresser comme t'as envie de progresser sans pour autant regarder ce que les autres font, c'est un pur kiff parce que t'as vraiment du dips à mort. Tu peux passer 4000 heures et jamais t'ennuyer dessus, mais après, c'est sûr que si tu recherches pas cette expérience-là, oui, les Diablos, ce sera forcément mieux. Hein.
A simple little cadence. He seems to be making it up as he goes.
Continue à écouter.
From another planet. Hey there.
Hey there. Ça se passe quoi au
It's a
juste?
jam, my man.
Balayez l'espace d'un geste de la main pour vous indiquer la horde de camions.
The air from the east is thick with the smell of crude oils, heavy metals and other byproducts of the modern era. You could almost taste it.
Ça bouchonne?
It's a traffic jam for the ages. Harbor gates up the street are shut tight, no explanation given. Workers on strike, scabs agitating, an all-around clusterfuck. Meanwhile, we're all stuck here in long-haul limbo for days upon days upon days. Upon days.
Ça fait combien de temps que vous êtes ici?
Feels like forever. Like I was born on this here roundabout and this was all I ever knew. Just me and the metal and the tires, the oil and the fumes of mazout.
C'est formulé curieusement, mais ça me
Yeah,
va.
imagine. It's been a whole week already. So tell me, what do you need?
Vous savez quelque chose à propos du pendu, là, derrière l'hôtel?
He ain't one of us drivers. I know that. All accounted for. Otherwise, I haven't really asked about that. Been wasting time right here. Keep him busy.
It's easy to see he's telling the truth. He's kept his nose out of the dark stuff.
Qu'est-ce que vous faites?
Analyzing the fundamental structural and psychological conditions of being stranded in the midst of a sea of motor lorries.
Il est
And their
marrant.
sad, despondent chauffeurs.
Et quelles sont vos
A
conclusions?
sense of surprise there ain't more bodies hanging from more trees.
Pas moi de ces
like-
élèves.
Whatever's going on over at the docks. Workers got a blockade set up, making demands. No way in or out.
Going on strike would probably help you dodge a bullet or two.
Que veut le syndicat?
Some pretty wild stuff, I hear. Like a giant new power crane in half the company? I forget what exactly. Good on them, I guess. I've heard talk there's a company rep in town, too. Like a strike negotiator type. They'd know what's up. Precise demands and so on.
Ah, yes, from the Wild Pines. We'll meet her soon enough, I'm sure.
À votre avis, que veut
They
l'entreprise?
want to keep that money flowing in, my man. Ka-ching.
He doesn't blame them, but he's not on their side. That's for sure.
Je ferais mieux
Maybe
de faire
you
la
should.
grève, moi aussi.
Cops don't get paid much and the hours are long. Plus, you can get shot. Why not?
The RCM is a self-managing organization that operates on donations. We promote our own leaders. It would be like striking against your own mother.
Je connais pas ma mère. Mais on se saoule les rats. Y'a gros.
Okay.
Bon bah révolte, hein.
But do continue. You were asking about the strike?
Anything else? Yeah, this ain't really my area of expertise. I just do my job and get paid. I have things to do and places to be. All of us do.
Comment?
Us lorry drivers. Camionneurs. You still hang around here waiting for this mess to end. Most have scurried off somewhere to get drunk or high. Or laid. Not that I blame them, really.
Pourquoi vous restez ici?
Not my thing. Chasing transient pleasures is a drag these days. I prefer the examined life now. Thinking, reflecting, observing.
What's better than chasing transient pleasures? The more transient, the better. When one, he tries his best to look nonchalant, but there's a rigidity in him, as if trying to conceal something warm and deep beneath a cool exterior.
Putain. T'avais pas une pièce pour un honnête travailleur?
Oh. No, I ain't got any money. The boss is.
Sale. C'est pas qui sont les patrons, mais cet accord a l'air sacrément
Yeah, it
avantageux
sure ain't
pour eux.
good for me. Or you. I'd spare a coin or two for a city cop down in his luck. If I had saved 4 myself.
Je pas trop envie de piffer là, le jet d'empathie comme ça. Sinon, qu'est-ce que vous transportez?
High-grade narcotics, illegal firearms.
Relax. He's merely joking.
Cette autorité d'arrestation. Ça le fait, j'ai toujours voulu avoir un ami hors la loi.
Ha! No, I'm joking, my man. Found runs a nice, clean business. This haul of cargo is mostly sporting goods. You know, tracksuits and that kind of thing.
Ok.
They usually get shipped to Grodd and the Occident. Though we've been making headway in the Il Moran market lately.
Hmm. Pourrais pas me faire un cadeau, un petit survêtement fan?
We're pals and all, but I can't just freely hand out the merchandise. The bosses won't be happy.
Un des
Not
cadeaux?
unless they've illegalized sports equipment while I was on the road.
Ça veut dire
It's
que...
rockin' beauty. Sure is. Like a rash you can't get rid of.
A motor lorry, also called a camion, on Caillou and neighboring islands. This one looks roughed up enough to be some sort of found rust bucket. Maybe
Ça-
the A6?
C'est un Falna 6?
Good eye, my man. Yup, she's an old one, but reliable. Me and her spent a long time together.
Ok.
The man taps his fingers rhythmically.
Merci,
Don't be a stranger.
gros. Très bien.
Hey,
Oui.
yes, you. Word on the street is you're ready to start building communism again.
Refonder le communisme.
Yes, you're ready to start building communism again. You've built it before. They've built it before. Hasn't really worked out yet. But neither has love. Should we just stop building love, too?
Ouais.
So, what about all that communism you've promised to build? Word on the street is you've woken up from 1,000 years of slumber, promising to erect a version of communism many times greater than any attempted before. Is that true?
La rumeur, mais d'où tu
You
sors ça?
keep saying things like, down with the bourgeoisie, eat the
Bourgeoisie.
rich, sodomize the landowners, impale all people who have more than 25 real in their pocket, literally murder all human beings regardless of their political beliefs. That kind of stuff.
Je crois que j'ai jamais
Okay,
dit ça.
not in so many words, but don't deny it. You're about to rip off that mask of social democracy and reveal the monstrous seven-eyed lamb of global communism that will devour and masticate mankind. Everyone can see that. So tell me, do you have any questions before we fire up the big communism builder? Or do we get right down to it?
Genre, je peux accepter. Allez, hein, on se fait coco, hein.
Oh yeah, get the firing squads and the animal wagons ready.
Ouais, je pense que c'est vraiment ça le communisme. Non. Seconde, tu n'avais pas parlé de
Too
peloton
late to back
d'exécution?
out now. You can't make an omelette without break.
Ouais, je suis pas sûr quand même. Mon Dieu, c'est immense.
An old monument stands in the middle of the traffic island, pointing toward the sea. It looks as if it's been reassembled piece by piece. A
Yes.
silver plaque on the statue's pedestal reads, I am Philip III, the Squanderer, the greatest of the Philippian kings of Revachol, son of Philip II, the opulent, father of Philip IV, the insane. As you look up, you notice something about the statue. There are some odd indentations on the king's chest piece.
Qu'a donc fait ce roi?
Even by the standards of the Philippian kings, old sumptuous Philip was known for his profligacy. Well, he blew through the whole national treasury, starting the decline of one of the penultimate century's greatest superpowers, the suzerain of Revachol. His own maladministration foreshadowed the fall of the monarchy during the anti-centennial revolution, an end to his family line and the monarchy on the Insulindian Isola.
Ouais, comment il a fait ça?
Stories have it that he had his bedroom converted into a treasure chamber where he stored unfathomable wealth. Krugerrands, bars of gold, ornate weaponry, armor, and various chalices. He called it the souterrains. It was obscene. There were whispers he slept on a huge pile of gold-dipped feathers, like some obese dragon, instead of a bed, like a normal person.
C'est une foutaise,
But
non?
wait, you haven't even heard about his fabled cocaine addiction. You
Ouais.
see, old Philippe wasn't just good at squandering the national treasury on gold and ceremonial weaponry. He was also a prodigious snorter of nose candy.
Enfin, à mon
Not
avis,
just
il meurt
any
avant de...
nose candy, though. We're talking Royal Philippian blow,
de la
allegedly
chenouf
twice as
royale.
potent as the stuff you find nowadays, and purple. Philippian cocaine was purple.
D'accord, et où est-ce qu'il est
Beneath
enterré?
the cold waters of the Insulindian Bay, thrown there by the revolutionaries after they cleaned out the royal mausoleum.
Il était arrivé à la
The
statue.
original was blown apart by communards, then further damaged during the landing of the coalition's airships during the turn of the century revolution, when most historians think the coalition's hasty landing may have ultimately saved the statue. If the communards had more time, they would have reduced it up to even finer pieces.
Qui a restauré le
Some
camp?
years ago,
Le
a
monument?
group of liberal, artistically inclined individuals, designers mostly, thought it would be ironic to restore the statue of the most wasteful ruler of Revachol in the poorest part of the city.
C'est pas faux.
The statue is supposed to capture the moment it was blown apart, like an instant frozen in time, a rare butterfly trapped in amber, floating on a sea of shit.
Shit. Vision ludique et nihiliste, c'est
People
vrai.
in
Hein.
Martinaise tend to disagree, as do many prominent art critics and thought leaders, with more nuanced social awareness than the young ironists. Philip III, the squanderer, however, with his bronze face up in the air, doesn't seem concerned about what the hoi polloi think of him in death. Not that he ever did in life either. Something with great kinetic
Genre
energy
d'Antaigne.
seems to have impacted the cuirass, around where someone shot him in the heart. Interesting.
Attends, est-ce que quelqu'un a tiré sur le roi?
Okay, I can't see it, but I take your word for it.
Qu'en pensez-vous?
Well, Martinez is riddled with bullet holes. This place saw a lot of action during the revolution. But the statue is recently renovated, so maybe a joke? Target practice or a political statement?
Sûrement une revendication politique, non?
Why not? What this shows us is guns aren't too uncommon here, and people still shoot them, sometimes at kings.
The king stands high above you, surveying the bay.
Ah, c'est bon, du coup, eux, je les ai absorbés, là. Ah, j'en ai un nouveau. Déverrouiller un nouvel emplacement. Comment on les déverrouille, ça? Déverrouiller. Déverrouiller un nouvel emplacement pour intérioriser la réflexion. Conditions pour déverrouiller l'emplacement. Quoi? La condition, c'est de déverrouiller un nouvel emplacement? Bah, c'est cool. Ça, c'est vigueur, non? 3. J'en ai que 3. Mais c'est nul ça. -2 de projection analytique. Je sais pas c'est quoi la différence entre les trucs jaunes. Ah jaune c'est où il y a des trucs. Des barres d'armement. De la tunasse. F5.
The small, wrinkled woman does not
Petite femme
greet you.
ridicule, me dis pas
She nods
bonjour.
along to
Elle a
something
pas dit
on
bonjour,
her
on va lui
radio.
casser la
A
gueule.
photograph is clutched in her hands,
Ouais.
and there is a warm
Je suis pas sûr
smile
qu'il faille
on
déverrouiller
her
un nouvel
face.
emplacement, mais dans le doute, on déverrouillera un nouvel emplacement.
The photo, an ambrotype from the turn of the century, as golden as her smile.
Excusez-moi madame, j'ai des questions à vous
No
poser.
response wherever this woman is.
Faire claquer le doigt.
She's just a distracted old woman. Better to leave her alone.
Non,
Why? I just told you why.
tu vous le dites. Vienne recouverte par la neige, plus personne ne vit ici. De l'argent! Le camion devait certainement stocker mes autres ici, maintenant il stocke de l'alcool. Je peux pas lui parler à lui? Quoi? Piligère. Qui c'est lui?
Scab?
Raufion! Demande un type au regard aimable en inclinant la tête.
You're hazy on the notion of a scab. Smells like politics, though. Maybe it's got something to do with the flask he reaches for from time to time.
Ah. Ouais, je suis un raufion, pauvre et opprimé. Le
Good one on me,
rentre.
sir. Don't worry. We here have solidarity with the RCM.
Ah, t'es gentil.
Imagine, you cops going on a strike, but then another cop comes in and says, let us cop for less money. Speaking of, what brings the RCM here? To the wild north? Come to see the strife?
J'ai besoin d'aide avec un cadavre.
Body still hanging in the tree? Hey, that's a rough pickle. Can't help you with that, sorry. I'm not really an admirer of dead bodies. Might be someone else from the Union can render assistance.
Est-ce que c'est une fille, tu peux me laisser franchir la part?
I don't operate in that capacity. I'm not a granter of passage. The passage grants itself.
C'est aussi simple que ça? Monte les mains dans la
Fine.
poche?
Walk right past Measurehead and go in.
De Mangeauche Caboche?
Yeah, the 2.5 meter tall Semini supremacist there. Walk right past him. Then
Je
press
vois.
the button to unlock the door. Then
D'accord,
go past him again.
d'accord.
And you enter the arbor through the office. Stop.
Pigé.
The man whispers a jaunty tune. A coastal breeze ruffles his hair.
J'ai envie de enquêter sur un meurtre à Martinez.
Murder, huh? That sounds like a lot of hard work. You'd never see me investigating a murder.
Je suis sûr à 91% que je ne le résoudrai jamais.
Probably not. I wouldn't even know where to start with that. Much better here at the harbor, for an honest union man like me.
J'ai un parcours de fric, t'as de
Sure thing,
l'argent?
my friend. I can help you out.
Oh,
The coin lands into your hand as if it has always belonged there. The swallow returns.
Merci.
Always glad to help out the RCM. Shame I can't do more. Things are meager at the moment due to...
Fait un signe de tête en direction des manifestants.
The winter's fat is slowly running out and all. Still better than scabbing though.
Syndicat a du mal à s'en sortir.
Nothing to worry about really. The jam's a bit of a mess, cargo can't get in or out. The rationing is a bit stricter is all. Supplies should last the strike though.
C'est bon à prendre.
I'm always glad to help out when possible. Not like these slithering scabs.
Pourquoi cette grève, au fait?
You know, serious business. I'm sure the big boss will be glad to tell you. You'll have to ask him first.
He's a chatty guy. Wants to talk about the strike too. Just can't break the command structure and tell you.
Merci, Fredo. Pas industriel du Grand Réchavol. Parlons à Jean-Michel.
Bastards! We have a right to work.
Hurle l'homme vers les portes du pont. Sa voix est la plus forte de tous. C'est étrangement criarde pour un homme de son gabarit. Que se passe-t-il?
Hold up and stay frosty, everyone. Cops are here.
Le dominant aux larges épaules se tourne vers vous. Il dépasse tout le monde d'une bonne tête.
You here to fuck with us? Beat the honest worker down.
Non. Pourquoi je ferais un
We're
truc pareil?
here to fight for a cause. Stripes usually have problems with people who have causes.
Je crois bien que non.
Good. We're fighting for a cause here.
Right to work.
Besides, we're not that different. It helps if people see us talking, cops and strikebreakers together. Shows authorities are on our side. Builds confidence.
Ok, en soi, j'ai quelques questions à vous poser.
Maybe you should ask them the questions, like why we're not allowed to make a living here.
Shame on you.
We have families to feed, you piece of shit.
Monte du doigt l'homme assis sur la
So
balustrade.
do we, scab.
C'est quoi votre objectif
We were
exactement?
promised work. We'd be in there, working, if the bastards hadn't shut the gates.
Vous êtes incapable de forcer
Main
l'entrée?
gate's locked. Would take heavy ordnance to bust it open. And try to get in through the secretary's office. Door's locked. The guard's blocking the way to the access panel. And I don't mean the scrawny mess punk either. I mean head measurer. Or whatever he is.
Je bâche.
Huge Seminese guy standing up there on the overhead passage. Won't let anyone by. The access panel is right behind him.
Il est si méchant que ça, vous avez la carrière pour lui faire face, non?
Bad. Standing on a narrow bridge, he's got a strategically advantageous position. And he's trained. I don't know how the Union has a trained killer up there. But that one's no joke. And my men are tired and hungry. They're workers, not fighters.
Pourquoi n'allez-vous simplement pas leur parler?
Like civilized folk, you mean? These native fucks don't understand civilized.
It would be better for the neighborhood if you went home, at least for now, if you can't get in anyway.
No! They will give up eventually. Or get drunk. Leave the button unguarded. Then we charge.
Moi aussi, rentrez dans le
Have
parc.
fun. Union shits are on full strike. Don't think they're going to let you through the gates. I'm trying to meet their fat boss.
J'interroge des gens sur un meurtre qui s'est passé loin d'ici, derrière
I
l'hôtel
know
café.
nothing about a murder. Wouldn't put it past these harbor bugs. They'd do anything to stay alive.
Ouais.
Right to work.
It's shameful. Cops doing nothing. You should bring backup. Open up the gates for us. Blockading gainful employment for workers is a crime.
Ça n'est pas vraiment dans mon
We are
domaine de
not picking a
compétences.
side in this just yet, sir.
Pity.
Let us work!
Qui sont tous ces briseurs de grève?
Honest men and women with rights to work, to be useful, not toys for corporate interests. We came here to help the harbor run smoothly in time of crisis. If union fucks don't want work,
I have a question. Why do all these men follow your leadership?
C'est vrai ça.
you think they follow because I'm big and loud? No. They follow the rules of the market, the rules of the economy, because they were given a job to do!
Mec qui croit qu'il y a des caméras sur lui ou comment ça se passe? C'est quoi cette grève?
When a bunch of ungrateful, lazy cockroaches can't get their act together, decide to block
Ouais, on a
beats me.
compris.
They mumble nonsense about boardrooms and workers' rights, while we
There's something odd in the way he carries himself. His set of clothing looks vaguely mismatched. The different pieces of the attire seem ill-fitting.
Ça veut dire quoi que ça ne va pas ensemble?
His shirt is far too small and an unpleasantly tight fit, while the overalls, held up by a belt, seem to fit a man with much more corpulence.
Oh!
He
Porter de
ignores your
nouveaux vêtements?
question, choosing instead to turn to the emaciated workers, raising both fists in the air. The clothes are obviously not his. Silence is the answer. There's something off here, but he won't say what. You've been talking to him for quite a while now. Something is off with this guy. Ask him where he's from.
Bon, je suis obligé de vous demander d'où venez-vous?
What's it to you?
Je suis simplement curieux, j'essaie de comprendre cette grève, c'est le bazar.
Big mess caused by union greed. But I only fight for the rights of people.
J'ai bien compris, ce qui m'intéresse c'est votre passé.
We're all workers, right? Workers stick together. Came from the eminent domain, in Jamrock. Backgrounds in odd jobs, heavy lifting, cargo hauling, bouncer work. I know the drill.
Cool, les bars c'est mon dada, j'en fais régulièrement jeter, c'est peut-être pour ça que votre run me revient.
Quartet Territorial. Ring a bell?
Ah, je crois bien, j'y suis déjà allé.
It was a long time ago.
Oh, les deux ils vont me péter les couilles là.
Hola, Wandering Man. How can I help you?
Ah mais d'accord, on était là-haut. Hermétiquement fermé, système électronique. Cas de grève, appuyez sur le bouton derrière le dispositif de sécurité. Quoi? Possible de crocheter ou de défoncer ces portes. Je suis déjà allé là-bas. Comment ça je pouvais pas ouvrir?
Nobody betrays your degeneracy.
T'as l'air d'entendre toi.
Yeah, Measurehead. His body totally betrays his degeneracy.
On va rien dire.
Are you admiring my morphophysiology?
Ouais. Un tressaillement secouant tous ses muscles traverse s'il vous laisse les regarder.
It must be frightening to stand in the shadow of this racial pinnacle. Be calm, Sandwich. You are not in danger because you are not a threat to me.
Mhm. 'Fin. Bon, et le
What
torse, mais
is
de rien dire.
this androgynous display of sexual maturity?
Merely standing up makes you sweat profusely. Your breathing is erratic. Your own heartbeat in your ears
Merde.
grows frantic, and you feel your blood pressure rise.
Stop it! You are embarrassing yourself in front of this woman. This display of weakness may appeal to older women with a stronger maternal instinct, but it is a liability here on Battlefield Martinez.
Jean-Luc, his body is betraying his degeneracy pretty hard. Maybe you can ask him to leave.
Encore pas important, je suis pas ici.
That is precisely
Je
the
suis,
negligence that has led you to succumb to Al Ghul. You reek of it. An invisible sword of Al Ghul emerges from your throat. You cannot see it, but others can. It is making the woman in my company sick.
Je n'ai aucun problème d'Algoul. Je picole juste un peu le
Your
week-end.
mouth moves, but the one who speaks is Al Ghul. You are but a vessel for the Ghul now. Very little of yourself remains. Occidental Haplogroup B4 is done giving orders around here. The influence of the ham sandwich race is waning.
Tout d'abord, je tiens à préciser, je suis pas un ivrogne flic, je prends juste un verre de temps en temps comme tout le monde. Je suis de la police et j'ai besoin de votre coopération sur le champ.
Jerking motions, signs of a late-stage neurodegenerative disorder. How far the Occidental Haplogroup has fallen. You were once a noble and powerful. You gave the world eugenics, electricity, and powerful weapons of war like missiles and aerostatic aircraft. You made great gains in metallurgy, race theory, and statecraft. You dominated lesser cultures, like the deformed Hemians and the inexplicably potato-obsessed Kroikos. But now your ascent to the genetic summit has halted. You are obsessed with sadness, and with frivolous pop, you will be superseded.
It is, baby, yeah.
There's a
trop.
button right behind him, just out of reach. It must be the one that opens the door to the harbor.
Ce sont les vôtres qui ont mis le câble là-haut, ce sont les vôtres qui devraient m'aider à le décrocher.
Enough with this begging. You should leave the stage of history with dignity. Bring your troops to the Seminine Islands and to Boogie Street, and we will pulverize you. When you are gone, we will build a museum for you. The walls will be lined with bottles of Al Ghul, your beloved beverage. Inside, we will store the odes to homosexuality you call art, and your microcephalic skull.
There may be a peaceful solution to this. You could internalize Meshahed's race theory. He would take you as one of his own.
Oh, vraiment là? On va pas dire que je dois devenir moi-même suppresser ces vénèses. Non mais au secours.
Not as
Et yo,
such.
Pocla.
What you do with a mastery of advanced race theory is up to you. You could reject the findings.
Alors, conceptualisation adhérer à sa théorie avancée des races.
Advanced racist.
Putain, on est obligé de lui sucer le chibre là.
Ask what kind of races there are first.
Demande d'abord quels sont les types de races, la classification garde son système. Oh, putain. Dis-moi, Josh Caboche, je suis nouveau dans ce monde. Aide-moi à bien comprendre les races parce que ça a l'air super intéressant et que vraiment c'est pas du tout un sujet à polémique ni qui pose problème dans l'univers de manière générale. Hein, c'est toujours une question très pertinente et intéressante.
Do you?
Ouais, bah, c'est pour le truc.
The lieutenant looks toward the harbor's electronic door, and then to you. He lets
Ouais,
you
bah,
are
écoute.
obviously a liberal, Sailorite. A polyculturalist. I can see it from your love of microtechnology and your sartorial choices. Do not deny your friend the truth you have denied yourself. There are 3 categories of race. Type A, the heroic races. Type B, the servile races. And the vile CF race cauldron of pederasty. Which one do you need education on? Those are the Simonese, the Areopagite, and the Occidentals, excluding the Maun, of course. The Maun are riddled with eczema to the point where they find it impossible to smile. They are all lactose intolerant,
Tu m'étonnes.
a common result of inbreeding. A receding genetic pool has led the Maun on reprehensible street parades in Maun cities like Stadskanal and Vredefort, wearing wooden clogs on their feet and little green tassels on their hats.
On sait quoi exactement ces
You
mots?
know them by the names of their nation states: the Oranese, the Gotwaldians, and the Königsteiner.
Mahoon is a derogative term for first world people of Gotwaldian descent. They do not all have eczema. Also, people of Katla, like the Suru and the Uhu, are much more lactose intolerant.
Et qu'en
In
est-il de
some
savon de bois?
municipalities of Oranje, people do wear shoes made of wood to street parades. Green, orange, and even yellow tassels have also been seen on hats.
C'est Saint-Patrick quoi.
The Maun are proof that you can have too much Occidental racial purity and tassel-centric culture. Inbreeding has led to a lactose-intolerant subrace whom no one can take.
Colorful tassels are, let's be honest, not a good sartorial choice for this century. You might want to avoid wooden clogs too.
Si on voit à quoi correspond le petit phare?
Vespertines and Messenians of Vesper and Messina, the ancient Meteorans of Meteo by the golden Pisantic Sea, the Souterrains of Sur-la-Clé, and even the North Königsteiners, all have type A race propense. The other large Mondial civilization, the Mesk, are too yellow and oleaginous to count as a heroic race. True, they are violent and expansionist, but they have a glandular problem. Overproduction of sebum. Sebum is leaking into their brains, making them listen to El Mariachi music and eat toxic minced meat-based food.
Oh please quoi,
In
genre
turn,
sauvez-moi.
only produces more sebum.
Qui sont les CNS et les aéropagites dans tout ça?
As
Hein?
proven by the Maun and the Mesk, Occidental type A is in retrograde. The Simonese and the Areopagite are on the ascent. The
Oh non mais
Areopagites
vas-y,
are
continue à
asleep,
recevoir de la sagesse, ouais,
long-headed.
je continue là.
Simonese are powerful.
Non mais mec, on va
latter
abréger
is
parce que
perfected
vraiment
and
c'est...
adapted.
Tu me balances du
Together,
bouli
they form the
dégueulasse.
Semino,
Ah
type
ouais,
B.
le type B, vas-y, ouais.
Hugo, Zimsk, Chest et al. are what you would call white officer in a suspect description.
Yes. To an untrained eye, the Koiko appear white and pinkish, like a ham sandwich. Pinkness is a racial quality that has to be earned through centuries of advanced ballistic warfare and cultural The Koiko, the countless micronationalities au grade, are all
Ah, je vous avoue, je lis vite,
Wouldn't
hein.
he be one for ethnostates?
Vous avez pas les ethno-états?
They are microscopic. The Semeno-Areopagite superstate will cover the entire remaining planetary crust, uninterrupted. Its leaders will be the genetic epitome of the Semenese and Areopagite stock.
C'est Vacolien, là.
Vacholians, halfway between Type A and the racial Cauldron. Two makes to know right from wrong. You tried your degenerate little revolution.
82 000 ans.
Single great
Bah, dis
Is
donc.
it 82,000 years that we've been recording history? You have very little idea of what is happening, but that seems a little off.
C'est quoi cette révolution?
The revolution is fatal familial insomnia. A hereditary prion condition passed from the Koikot, enough of Tibet mediocrity. Tips CF are a museum of failed chimeric experiments, and lesser races like the mosquito, a grotesque mixture of a masked woman and a Semenese man. Only possible if the mosquito is born sterile.
Ah, je comprends. Ah, mais de toute façon, il y a personne qui comprend rien là. Même lui, il sait pas de quoi il parle là. Il y a des mots, ils sont assemblés. T'as l'impression il a fait une boîte comme ça avec plein de mots, il secoue comme ça et hop là, c'est un truc, tu vois. Il y a sandwich au jambon qui revient 3 fois déjà. Ça, c'est sûr, hein. Et leur seule fierté de conduire des automotrices trafiquées à suspension hydraulique en écoutant de la musique El Mariachi agressive pour évacuer le désespoir de leur impuissance. T'es là en mode oui. Moi je suis d'accord, hein. Ah vas-y, ouais.
The Semino Koiki Kaimira. Are you sure you wish to know of the Koiko as this will but enough? It is cruel.
Maintenant, vous avez pas ça en vue collective. Est-ce que je comprends la théorie assez avancée? Quoi? Vous devez d'abord vous demander quelle est donc l'énigme raciale.
What is the race enigma? You have not even worded the mystery, let alone solved it.
Comment on formule ce mystère?
You need to internalize what you have heard here
Oh
today.
merde.
I cannot possibly imagine what else we have to discuss.
L'assommer, hein, non mais...
Your love
Ça
for
c'est sûr, ça
disco
tourne mal
music
quoi.
and venereal disease.
Instrument physique. Que savez-vous à propos de ce mug?
Does not so much as glance at the object.
Ça vous dit quelque chose?
Stop showing me your pathetic cup.
He had nothing to do with it.
Vous êtes au service du syndicat, les membres ne sont-ils pas blancs?
Don't be vulgar. White or not has got little to do with this. The race enigma.
Vous êtes toujours à bout du syndicat, ça compte pas ça?
Mr. Clare is a man of vision and means. He has the will to come. Also, to serve is noble. It takes discipline.
Oui, c'est vrai.
Your petulant individualism has only contributed to your race failure.
Servir c'est noble, donc si tu pouvais fermer ta gueule, ce serait noble de ta part. Et ça nous rendrait tout service. Communiste c'est plutôt cool, l'individualisme c'est pas mon truc. C'est la mystérieuse qui est très l'option moi.
Individualism. You have gotten these ideas
Rock'n'roll, ça vient du disco, frérot.
I
Sans
am
branle.
not surprised you enjoy it so much. This has happened to many of the side products of inevitable cultural victory of the Semini.
Oh, vas-y, ouais, parle-moi des cadavres.
Come to terms with extinction.
Oh, vas-y, quoi. Je dois externaliser sa merde, là, extérioriser, intérioriser, je sais pas quoi. Instrument physique plus 1. Ah! Avec le débardeur, je pourrais essayer. Tu te fais du mal, hein, mais là c'est chaud là. Hein. Oh non, mais. -1 art dramatique. Tu peux par absurdité. Non, mais en plus j'ai pas de place quoi. Retour solitaire. C'est parti, appel au foyer. Dépassez au poste 41 et poursuivez à travers le marché. Après Boogie Street. Dirigez-vous de l'autre côté du lac. Le cœur jaune en bas le quartier. Puis continuez la vidéo. Mais ça, c'est pour rentrer chez WAM, non?
The unpromising
28%. J'ai gagné un peu, mais... Oh, je vais vraiment intérioriser sa merde sur les races, là. Oh là là, j'ai envie de crever. Envie de vécreux. Ah ouais, frites, ouais. Quoi? Magnésium! Ouais. Waouh. Bon, ça c'est le Whirling in Rags, et lui je lui ai pas parlé à lui là. Oh non, attends, j'ai 15 trucs. Ne laissez pas vos gosses s'en branle. Dirait une faute de frappe. Quoi? Bon, on s'en fout. C'est toi là.
Welcome to Rivachol.
This man looks like trouble. You might not want to get into this right now. Plenty of time later.
Mais je connais Rivachol. On a Rivachol, non?
Don't you welcome to Revachol me. My grandfather came here from a 3,000-year-old racist isolationist culture, while your ancestors came to this island a mere 300 years ago. Every school of thought and government has failed in the city, but I love it nonetheless. It belongs to me as much as it belongs to you.
Qu'est-ce qui se passe? T'as l'air énervé.
It's men like you who keep Revachol divided, making it that much harder for everyone to climb.
What he means is, fixation on the Revacholian nation makes it harder for Revachol to actually attain self-determination.
C'est que si tu des limbes, que se passe-t-il?
Oh, come on, man. I just said welcome to Rivachol. It's a lorry driver thing.
I know exactly what you meant. You think my kind doesn't belong here, that I should watch myself, but you see, I'm an officer of the RCM. It's actually my job to make sure you behave. I would advise you to remember that.
Silence. The air between them becomes tense.
C'est chaud.
Your partner needs backup. Now's your moment to shine.
Mais trop Kim, vous pouvez compter sur moi.
You two make a cute couple. You know that.
The lieutenant exhales and resumes his regular calmness.
Tant que cette histoire est réglée, on va pouvoir poser d'autres questions.
Officers.
He smells of heavy motor oils, and his breath of high tar content cigarettes, probably Astra Whites.
Trouvez cette tasse à vous?
Oh man, that's great. Look at that guy go. Haven't seen anything that funny in a while.
À vous?
God damn. Thanks for that, but no, it's not mine.
Pourquoi vous êtes pris la gueule?
It's about biological determinism, natural law, the sorting of the races. Not
les
the
Français.
most popular topic nowadays, with the coalition in charge and all. You might want to change the topic. That is, bury your head under the sand like common sheep.
Not sheep, ostriches.
Rectile.
Actually, neither ostriches or sheep bury their heads in the sand.
Ça me fait
Just the
beaucoup
same.
trop rire, quoi. Tu sais, ta voix en interne qui est en train de se contrer. Et ah non, mais tu vis de la merde. C'est les autruches qui enfouissent leur tête, pas les moutons. Vous êtes plantés.
Whatever. Go back to your college class, Bino.
Je comprends, il en faut
I'm
bien.
not the only one. Look, I've read books. The science of racial theory has all been proved, even if some people don't want to accept it. People who've studied these things say that you and me are superior by design. So, naturally, we Occidentals should be in charge. Obviously, you can see the merits in that.
C'est dommage que tu peux pas le dire sur le ton de l'ironie, quoi. Vous avez autre chose à me
So,
dire?
lately we Occidentals have experienced an unfortunate downturn when members of the superior race cease to believe in their innate superior.
le
This
problème?
concerns you, policeman, so you better be vigilant. The damn kips are showing up good lately. Same with the mosquitoes. And the other intruder species too. They're on the precipice of cultural victory.
Tout le monde sait quoi cette victoire
It's
culturelle?
what the kips of Boogie Street are going for, right under our noses. And the others too, on the radio. Heard any chansons lately? Heard any mojitos or leader? No. Dominating culture is how they plan to win. They say so themselves. It's true. Also, you need to realize the dangers of mixed races.
Ça
Who knows
marche,
what
ça
might
marche.
happen
Ah là, je me fais
if people
brasser
don't
là
stay in their
par
space.
Jean-Michel
You might
Racisme
end
là.
up with a new subrace.
Mon dieu.
With unknown characteristics, leading to extra competition. That's why you've got to control the offspring.
En fait, ça sert à quoi? Ce mec, je m'en bats les couilles. Non, mais ta
Don't
gueule.
push your luck, runt.
L'homme vous observe d'un air de dégoût, puis regarde d'ailleurs en niant votre présence. Et je peux pas lui
Looking for
reparler.
something, runt? Come to tell me to.
Qui se
Oh, not
transporter?
much anymore. I'm here to pick up some cargo, but the dock workers are on strike, so.
Ça fait combien de temps
The
que ça dure?
strike? Oh, they've been at it for a while. A month.
Dans
2
l'autre, il avait
months,
pas dit
maybe.
cette
But
fin une
this
semaine?
here is just the last week or so.
Ah ouais.
Apples.
Apples is exactly the kind of thing you'd say if you had something to hide.
Ça va pas de me rencontrer ça en parlant de pommes.
As detective, I come from a long line of lorrymen.
Bon,
We got ancient rights and privileges. Oh, I'm here to pick up a load of fucking apples, man. Just regular Koiko picked apples.
Damn, you're not gonna get more out of him on this. He's put up the wall of racism.
Ah, c'est quoi les
Well,
droits
yeah,
là?
they're a big deal. My great-grandfather was a carter, had a royal license and everything. We've tried to hold on to our privileges.
C'est quoi un charretier?
Someone with a cart. What did you think it was? That's how deep into history our thing reaches. Before machines.
C'est un privilège ça?
Sure fucking is. We have a guild and everything, huh? Very ancient. Very prestigious.
Donc vous faites partie de charretier?
Goddamn right. They've been
You're
trying to
goddamn
fuck us out
right.
of our heritage in the name of profit. But when they try to replace us, they'll regret it. Trusting street thugs with their goods is going to fuck him right up the ass. Mark my words. Generations of practice and no laughing matter.
Non mais en fait ça vous fait rire parce que vraiment on trouve ça ridicule, mais il y a vraiment des gens qui sont à la limite d'être comme ça, hein. Pas très loin. Hein. C'est bien ça qui est triste. Hein. T'es là en mode ouais. Ça a l'air super cool ta life mec. Très bien. Qu'est-ce que c'est que ça? Mais ça c'est en haut. Ok d'accord. Je suis un peu dans la sauce là, non? J'ai parlé à la petite là. Elle me brassait elle aussi, non?
Hello, sir. Step right in. The store is open.
Une jeune fille aux joues bien rouges vous fait signe de la main en souriant. Elle a également des rougis par le froid. Putain, pour une fois que je tombe pas sur un attardé dans le jeu. Oh mon dieu. Annette. Merci, merci Annette. Merci d'exister Annette, t'as l'air d'être incroyable, une personne en or massif. Parle-moi. Salut.
Are you interested in a new and exciting book?
Elle tape du pied pour se réchauffer. D'abord, c'est quoi comme boutique?
It's a bookstore, sir. We sell books, postcards, and some board games. It's called Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold your horses, little girl.
Qu'est-ce qu'un lit? Oh, c'est dur ça par contre. J'ai vraiment échoué là. Au total 10. C'est un difficile.
That is a book. They have stories inside them. It's like someone told you a story in a really long letter. A postcard is a small cardboard picture. You can write a few words on the other side and send it to your friend or beloved.
C'est quoi un jeu de société?
Are like little games on a table, made to pass the time. There are several different ones, but sailors here mostly buy cards.
Intéressant.
My pleasure. Anything else you'd like to know?
Je peux te poser des questions?
I'll try to answer any questions you have.
Comment t'appelles-tu?
My name is Annette, sir. My mum, her name is Plaisance. She owns the store. She's inside minding the register or organising the stock.
La jeune fille observe la vitrine puis sursaute tout d'un coup comme si elle se rappelle quelque
Feel
chose.
free to step in and browse our wares.
Et tu restes dehors à geler parce que...
I'm signalling that the store is open. Otherwise people might not know. They'd miss out on the crime, romance and biographies of famous people.
Putain. J'aurais peut-être discuté avec la propriétaire de la boutique.
No, sir. I'm happy to help Mum by luring in customers. Besides, I have some hot juice in my vacuum bottle to keep warm.
Tu aurais pas
I
été à
do my
l'école?
studies at home at the moment. I have to help Mum keep this place running.
Est-ce qu'aller à l'école n'est pas plus important que ça?
Mum says it's necessary to do both because it builds character. Mum says a proper worker is dutiful. That's how you get ahead in life. You succeed.
There is stress and unease behind these words. She's reciting etiquette.
Mum says
Comment les
it's
affaires?
peachy. She was a little afraid at first. There's talk about this house being cursed.
Bah dites comment ça?
Cursed in the way that makes them say that no business has ever really thrived here, sir. That they all go...
En faillite?
Exactly. But we've been doing fine so far.
Bah c'est sérieux, je pourrais
We
peut-être
can
m'en
go
fourrer
into the
dans
bookstore
là-dedans.
and ask about the case, but I don't see much more to look into here.
Yes, please do look at our wares inside. The postcards and board games you asked about are also there, sir.
Comment cette malédiction se manifeste-t-elle?
It does not manifest itself in any way. It does not exist. I liked it better when we were talking about whether it's appropriate to stand out in the freedom.
Mais qui me les manifestations
No
plasmiques?
such thing.
Coup dur.
Anything else you wanted to talk about, sir?
Je vois. C'est pas une malédiction pour le
Maybe I
moment.
can tell you about some of our books instead.
Comment ça écrit?
Crime fiction is about murders or burglaries or things like that, and the work of a policeman or a private detective who's trying to solve a crime and catch the criminals.
Une seconde, pas vraiment criminel. C'est bazar là-dedans.
Crime is what we were solving before this conversation began.
J'ai pigé.
And it's kind of like a puzzle too. You can guess who the criminal is or how the good guys are going to catch him.
Je suis moi-même policier
You
en fait.
don't look much like a policeman.
Ah, coup dur. Et à quoi ressemble un
Didn't mean
fric?
to offend, sir. Sorry, sir. It's just that you don't look like Dick Mullen.
Elle désigne la couverture d'un livre sur laquelle vous apercevez un agent vespertine. L'air grave, il tient penché au-dessus du cave d'une femme. Avant, j'étais exactement comme Bullet, puis j'ai décidé de vivre ma vie à fond. C'est vrai. C'est parce qu'il y a le corps qui compte quand on bosse dans la police, c'est ça.
Head, yes.
No, you're mine.
You're mine.
Not head, child. Heads.
Heads. L'adaptabilité, il y a des millions de personnes autour de nous. Rester à pénétrer leur tête pour attraper le tueur, il faut parfois être le tueur. Esprit vif, on dirait qu'il faudrait 4 heures à ce minute pour accoucher de la moindre idée.
No, he's wicked smart in the stories.
Bien sûr, quand l'auteur fait tout le travail de réflexion sur sa place, les vrais policiers doivent penser à agir de leur plein gré.
Like you, sir. Of course. He's just a fictional character. He's no match for you. Maybe you can show me some real police work, sir. Like in the books.
Sans froid, bon, je vais essayer de déduire quelque chose.
The girl keeps her hands folded, hidden. Why is that?
Pourquoi regardes-tu ma
What
jointe?
do you mean, sir?
Tu peux me le montrer?
She looks around anxiously. Her hands remain folded in front of her. The lieutenant stands by, looking at the two of you with little interest.
Tu peux me faire confiance.
She brings out her reddened hands, her nails frayed, nearly chewed down to the flesh.
Tu te ronges les ongles, pas bien ça.
And you knew this from me keeping my hands folded?
Oui.
Well, that proves nothing. Anyone could do an easy deduction like that.
Ça va encore plus, je parie que je peux deviner pourquoi tu te ronges les ongles. J'ai quelques
She
petites idées
nods,
derrière la tête.
half provocative, half enthusiastic.
T'es tendu parce que ta mère... à cause de ta mère et de toute la pression qu'elle te fait
Maybe
subir.
so, sir. Okay, I know it's a bad habit, and I shouldn't.
Dans tous les cas, encore une fille élection de détective numéro 1 de la
It was
ville.
okay, sir.
Ah.
There's more that can be achieved here. Ask her to do the same.
Tu crois ça alors? Fais mieux. T'as vu quelque chose sur moi?
You're quite sober.
Sobre.
The lieutenant does not flinch at the comment. He does not flinch even a single bit. He is intensely not flinching. It takes effort.
Sais-tu que ce n'est pas le cas
Because you
d'habitude?
usually aren't.
Je suis triste également, j'ai mal au
I'm
crâne.
sorry, sir. I hope things get better soon.
Oh.
There she stands, swaying on her feet, assaulted by the early spring breeze. She smiles at you.
Ah,
The
c'est
whole
chiant
situation
quoi.
suddenly feels familiar, somehow.
C'est quoi un roman
It's
d'amour?
the type of book where there's a rich lady and she has to choose between the good man and the bad man.
Ah bon? Cette pensée a fait sourire, peut-être passer s'imagine elle-même devant ce choix
Or that
cornélien.
could be a story about a poor lady getting a rich man. It's about man and lady business, sir.
Et un mec pauvre qui arrive à séduire une femme riche?
It happens, but usually the guy gets rich in the process. or should actually be rich himself but has lost his family property unjustly, like during the revolution or something.
Je vois.
Those are unhappy books for most of the pages. People sad about what they have lost, but then it all turns out just fine in the end.
Si tout le monde est pauvre, et si les deux types sont des
These
mauvais
are not
garçons.
very common. You can't have a choice between bad and bad. Nobody wants to read a story like that.
C'est particulièrement bien écrit.
Maybe then it's fine. Maybe if the lady then decides not to pick either, because she doesn't need a bad man. Yes, that would be interesting.
Et si tout le monde est pauvre.
That's really not a proper romance story. That's more like everyday life.
Ouais, les pauvres, c'est chiant.
Yes. People in books are always very interesting. Especially the romance people.
Et il ne marche pas du tout comme... Ça marche du coup quand... entre une dame et un homme.
I
Quoi?
haven't read many of those. Maybe you should ask Mum.
Je lui demanderai peut-être.
I'm sure she can help out. Anything else
Bon,
you'd maybe
restons-en
know about
là.
other books?
Biographie, c'est quoi juste?
Kings and queens and generals of old,
Mon Dieu.
or artists and writers, or musicians, those kinds of people. There's usually something extraordinary about them.
Un frère de ses joues rougit par le froid avant de
I
poursuivre.
think that's why people read them, to find the secrets of their fame.
Seems like most people who read those books fail to get more famous from reading them.
Sans déconner. Lire ces bouquins ne rend pas leur lecteur plus célèbre, non?
But it does make the famous people more famous.
C'est pour les gens vaniteux,
Okay,
ouais.
sir.
Ok, ça. Vas-y, elle m'a brassé, elle met déjà 18h. J'ai toujours pas assez de thunes pour la nuit. Oh putain, il y a 25 trucs. Attends, j'ai oublié les F5.
A small mountain of colorful board game boxes. There are numerous types of games for all ages. A lot of shelf space seems to be taken up by Wirral-related merchandise. An endless variety of source books, lore books, and codices litter the table. There's also a large hardbound tome with intricate cover art, The Hunters of Katawak, Boreal Creature Compendium, and a pick-your-path adventure game book titled Tales of Wirral, Cavern of Velkrag. Books in a board game section? Who wants to read books? A towering mountain of colorful board game boxes and Wirral codices.
Bam, quel jeu de société vendez-vous?
Board games, sir. The Viticulturist is a classic for sure, or perhaps you'd like Archipelagos of Insulinda. Raubritter is a fun game of economic competition, but can get quite intense after a while. We have games for the whole family. You can play with your children. Friends are technically like family.
Fait tourner son pendentif tout en
For
réfléchissant.
playing with friends, I'd recommend Suzerainty. It's a civilization building game where you build a civilization, then set off to brutally colonize and repress other civilizations.
Que pouvez-vous me dire à propos de ce fameux Virreal?
Lousy auras there. No, role-playing games are popular among those types. You know, who are into those
3 fois
kinds of
top 1,
things.
putain, GG.
Personally, I don't like it.
Le monstre.
Not at all. I've heard they turn people into a cult.
Boucle-la la vieille. Oh, il y a tellement de bordel. Tu vu magazine d'espoir, t'es abonné dans ce coin sombre. Oh my goodness, oh my DM. Oh, j'en ai tellement pour...
The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks featuring an extremely muscular, sword-wielding barbarian on the cover. Nearly all the titles contain the word Heimdall somewhere. Rows and rows of Heimdall men blur your vision. You make out some titles. Man from Heimdall and the Mammoth Riders.
C'est un moment
Man
génial.
from Heimdall. Return to Heimdall.
T'inquiète, dès que tu comprends les mécaniques, après ça va mieux.
Solipsistic. Man from Heimdall and the Heimdall man. Maybe 100. Man from Heimdall and the sages at the end of the world. Man from Heimdall.
Ouais.
Not even close. Man from Heimdall in hell. Man from Hyamdal.
C'est l'un de ses livres m'attire. Quoi?
Man from Hyamdal.
Oh, Man from Hyamdal. A very popular series of adventure novels. They're awfully immoral and blood and violence, scantily clad women, epic narratives, all those mystical things he encounters. They're bound to grab those with little imagination and nothing
Ça a
to
l'air
do.
pas mal, c'est mieux de commencer par
What does it
lequel?
matter? They're all the same. However, the customer is always right. If you're a novice of the series, I'd recommend Hyamdalaman, the man from Hyamdal. It's supposed to be a good introduction to the series.
Nothing of interest. Only silence and the cosmic background pain radiate. You see a set of
S'apercevez une paire de
curtains
rideaux
blocking
rapiécés
the way
bloquant
to
l'accès à une
another
autre
room.
pièce.
A
Une étrange
strange
baroque.
cage-like.
Excuse me,
Très bien.
officer. The back room is strictly for employees only.
Ah, qu'est-ce qu'il y a derrière?
Now, please go back to browsing the books. Don't you feel compelled to look at the books? The books are...
She speaks almost as if she's trying to put a spell
C'est
on
clair.
you, urging you to buy more books. Oddly enough, the more she tries to draw you away from the curtains, the more alluring they become. You see some kind of charm, an irregular polyhedron assembled from bones, sticks, and straw. Inside, a disturbing fish head with empty eye sockets stares at you. This is a traditional Seminese ward, meant to provide protection against ill luck, bad dreams, curses, and
Et
other
qui sont les
supernatural scourges.
Sévénèses.
Inhabitants of Ile de Fantôme, the Semenine Islands. Down. Aside from poking at it suspiciously, there is nothing else to do with the fish head charm at this time. The curtains remain shut before you.
On va ignorer les rideaux parce que si je l'ouvre, je vais me la foutre à dos et en vrai, j'aimerais bien visiter le reste
are
avant.
overburdened with books from the same series. You see the name.
Ouais, non mais
a
Dick
couple of
Mullen.
spooky novels hide amidst all the detective books. Thrilling tales of spy crime fiction is a disgrace. An asinine misrepresentation of the physical attributes of the arduous everyday work. These books greatly overstate the excitement of police work, glossing over how long it takes to actually follow up on leads and eliminate dead ends. What's more, they completely ignore the psychological hardships of year after year coming into contact with people during the worst days of their life. Not a single mention of all the stress this work creates upon the officer's family. Detective fiction just doesn't tell the truth at all.
Yo.
Now, would you like a list of all
Ah,
the
je me
books
fais
found on
brasser
the
là.
shelf?
Là, je me fais brasser vénère. Non, non, mais c'est bon.
Filled to the brim with crime.
Ouais. Une étrange brochure pour des livres d'images, haute en couleur. C'est livre intitulé Magie fasciste. Putain. Ah, bordel de
The
merde.
plaque on the shelf reads, Biographies of famous people. Browsing through all the books with all their names makes your head spin. None of these seem important or relevant. Suddenly, a particularly odd title catches your eye. It reads, High Speed Love, the tragic true love story of Jacob Irv and Alfie Delatraz, by one Cecilia Averbrook. High Speed Love chronicles the romance between two of the finest tip-top tourney racers in history. One of them is the madcap driver, Jacob Irv. His blonde. Next to Irv's life story, you see a slim biography of an Occidental rock star called the Anti-Star. He's famous for shooting morphine into one of his eyeballs and cocaine into the... Next to that, Revacholian radio personality Guillaume Bevy stands in front of a run-down drug den. He's a permanent fixture on Channel 8, reporting on real-life crime and ruining cops' day.
I really must insist you buy one of the books. Reading them is not for free. Do still browse though, but not... I'm sorry, I did not mean to rush you. You are browsing. Go ahead. Take your time. Time is commerce.
Bon, mais elle va se calmer, elle.
I would say... The greatest innocence, yes. most
L'innocence
certainly.
avec un
It's
grand
an
I.
important educational tool, delving into the depths of history, religion, and their relation to innocentic power.
L'innocence de qui ou bien de
A
quoi?
very influential historical figure. But surely I don't have to tell you that. You're a law officer, and law officers have at least some education. The book is also very daring. The author aims to re-examine the universal understandings of the innocentic system, creating a fresh vantage point and a shift in the tired order of things.
Donc vous me le recommandez?
Certainly, it's prudent for a person to have at least an elementary understanding of history and society. Imagine the chaos we'd be in otherwise.
You feel like you should get this one. Definitely. It's important somehow. There's something personal inside.
Ouais, non mais il casse les couilles. Moi j'ai pas d'argent. Réflexion assimilée d'œil au blanc. Muscule personnage rétrécit de plus en plus. Surplombez ce monde miniature. Vous voyez dans la neige, dans les rues, dans un magasin qui fait angle. Dans la maison, boîte d'œil lunettes, assis à fenêtre, au bord, vous sentez le parfum, ça infecte, un deuil blanc, une mort moderne. Un divorce ou un truc dans le genre. Tout ce que vous devez faire, c'est mettre davantage de distance entre vous et lui. Le faire rapetisser, le rendre moins comme vous. Fonction dézoom améliorée de 20%. En fait, je comprends pas bien l'intérêt de tout ça. Et pourquoi on peut pas les oublier? Point de talent, ça coûte 1 point de talent à oublier. Putain, mais j'aurais pas dû bouffer tous ces trucs-là. Hein. Bon, après, lui, c'est volonté plus 2, donc si. Oh non, mais ces trucs... Tous les seuils d'apprentissage augmentent de 1.
Several maps have been attached to a bulletin board hidden inside the alcove.
Wow,
The
ouais.
maps look old and faded. Your eye catches a map of Insulinda, a map of Revachol, and a map of Martinez. This large map displays archipelagos. You see a constellation of small dots on the light blue emptiness of the Insulindic Ocean. The largest in the northeast is La Caillou. You are here.
La Caillou, très bien.
Laurentide, Fas à la Mer, Archipelagos, North Arcade Islands, all just specks of disintegrating into mathematics. In the northeast, a dust mite stands on the north coast of Caillou, in a bookstore. It's you.
D'abord les yeux, est-ce qu'on voit les villes sur les yeux?
Can, on Caillou, Revachol, a single black star. On Ozon, Fondelier, and Vimandu. On Archipelagos, Croyan Moran, Villiers. On Seminine, Olduvai, and on Laurentide, Deora of the Seven Seas. 850 million people live on these little dots. An oceanic world of culture and commerce torn apart by The ocean breaks apart into a tangle of cosines and azimuths, all pointing into pale nothingness. Windy is the north azimuth, connections to other worlds.
Embrasse,
Words
embrasse.
past the Insulindian, unknown to you. You only know you've never been there. You have little idea what they are. Distant stars, gods, but looking at them makes you feel almost non-existent. Whatever they are, the Isolas are immeasurably large compared to you, and very, very far away. Perhaps they are gods, gods of distance and outer dust. The north coast of a verdant island is shattered by the delta of a river. It is the river Esperance. Countless bridges put the shards back together, connecting city blocks to river islands. La Delta says a great artificial heart in the center. To the east, rolling hillsides, Le Jardin, Stella Marie, the suburbs of Saint-Baptiste, swallowed up into the megacity. They sound rich to you. Hudon, it's somewhere to live. Not bad. Then there's Jamrock. It's bad. People shouldn't live there, but they do. Then Forburg. It's almost as bad, and much larger. Then Coal City. It's the worst. It's so small you can't even see it on the map. No, wait. There it is, north of Jamrock, the strip of coast next to the Greater Rivershell Industrial Harbour. It looks downright despondent. It's almost Coal City, to be honest.
Ouais.
No, this is somewhere to be. This is all you have. But it's still something. Streets and sodium lights, the sky, the world. You're still alive.
C'est vrai.
It's not really a map. It's a tourist thing. A picture postcard with buildings on it, drawn from an isometric perspective. A date in the upper right corner
Attends,
says
on est allé en
48.
41 là, non?
Still, it's detailed. Could be pretty useful for scouting ahead. You see the jagged boxes of an industrial harbour, even the whirling in rags there.
I'm sorry, officer. The map of Martinez is the only one available. The other two are not for sale anymore. And besides, they're quite valuable, though they might not look it. The map of Martinez is 90 cents, though. That old thing? It's an out-of-date map of a tourist location that never was nor came to be. From when some design studio people tried to spruce the place up 4 or 5 years ago. They also renovated the horse statue, set up those coin-operated viewers, and designed the new street lamps.
The place does not look like a successful tourist trap, does it?
They didn't get that far, for some reason. A shame the project never got going.
Oh, la chourave.
Fix Martinez up.
Franchement, pour
All these ruins are bad for
90
business.
centimes, on s'en branle un peu, non? Ça va pas changer le bise au niveau de la chambre, on lui doit 60 balles à autant enculé, donc... Bon, après, je 3 chances sur 4, quoi.
You peek at the storekeep, waiting for her to be distracted. When she's not looking, you're now the proud owner of a map of Martinez, which, to be honest, did not...
C'est vrai. C'est vrai, mais on a une carte. Et ce qui veut dire que...
The worn map features the patchwork grid of the streets of Martinez, with directions to appropriately touristy locations. Your finger moves through the various streets, across Rue de Sangis Lane and Rue Saint-Sipar, over Saint-Brun, and finally coming to a halt on the spot where you are currently standing, although the map gives no such indication itself.
For a more detailed view of the map, go to your journal and select the Map tab.
Map tab. Ça y est, enfin. Ok. Miroir. Quoi? J'ai cliqué sur un truc, ça a disparu. Kuno. Cap de policier. Le pendu, benne à ordures, miroir. Électrochimie impossible. Terrifiant. Oh mon dieu. Oh mon dieu. Cabane des pêcheurs, je suis pas du tout là-bas. Je suis pas du tout là. Non, j'ai pas envie de péter les plombs.
This bookstore is not strictly about crime, romance, and biographies of famous people. There's also a wide range of paranatural literature. Amidst the various books, you find one written by someone named Matthias W. Dundas. It's about wholeness, unity, balance. These 3 things are very important to the working class mind. The point of the book, and many others on this shelf, is to give people medicinal advice in situations where they don't have access to paid health services. It serves platitudes, while also telling everyone that traditional medicine, the kind people don't have access to and which costs more than this book, is garbage and would only give you cancer anyway. without even curing your cold or anything.
On en est là, quoi.
Unity, balance, on the other hand, can basically take care of anything. When it's up to your mind to heal yourself, then it's because of your mind that you're ill in the first place. The book features chapters on topics such as how to find magnesium. It even lists plants you can harvest magnesium from. How to continue drinking if you're an alcoholic who has destroyed his liver. There's even a chapter on the ancient Seraïs tradition of using duck gallbladder preservatives to treat and prevent sexually transmitted diseases. Pre and post factum apply. Nothing worth buying.
De quoi parle ces livres?
Sir, please, no browsing in that shelf. That wisdom is not for free. I can't have you end up, like, opening a police store next door and stealing my customers. Oh no!
Mais qu'est-ce qu'elle raconte, elle? Elle brasse? Tout le monde sait bien que ce qui est intéressant chez les fascistes, c'était leur magie. Leur magie. On n'a pas parlé à elle.
Crime, romance, and biographies of famous.
Ouais, salut, ouais.
And please take responsibility for the energy you bring into this space.
Êtes-vous le propriétaire de cette boutique?
I am the proudest owner of our little shop of culture.
Votre fille, c'est celle qui est plantée dehors?
Annette, yes, my daughter. I hope she wasn't slacking off again with her nose in science fiction. Tell me, was she at her post doing her job like a proper girl?
Oui, bien sûr.
Wonderful. Did you talk to her?
Oui.
Great. On a scale of 1 to 10, how compelled were you to buy books after talking with her?
10, très poli et
My
serviable.
precious, her dedication brings joy to my heart. If you have children, I hope they turn out as great as my Annette.
Bah après, j'approuve pas trop votre façon de vous servir d'elle.
Mind your own business, sir. In our society, people don't get to tell each other how to raise their children. It's none of your or anyone's business.
Toute cette pression l'angoisse vraiment, c'est qui se
Doctor,
range
I've
les
told
uns.
her not to do that. It's disgusting. And I told you to mind your own business. Clearly, you have no idea how hard it is to raise a girl in this economy.
Je pense qu'elle peut rien y changer.
And if she has enough willpower, this is what's called growing pains. Life isn't easy. Life doesn't give breaks.
Come on, ma'am. It's obvious she can't do anything about it. You are placing an unnecessary burden on a young child.
C'est vrai. Ah, ce que vous faites, c'est mal.
She stands stiff and severe, silently fuming. Tenor, she's looking for one, but there simply aren't any good arguments for being an asshole.
Oh no. Hold on. I need to invite her inside and apologize. She must be freezing out there. There. I don't know what to say to you. My husband, he tries to teach me business lessons. I have what my mother called a dull mind. All this stress.
C'est bien. Votre épée utilise le père d'Annette?
My husband is a successful entrepreneur east of the river. If only he were more involved in the business we're running up here. No matter. Soon we'll both be off for Grand Couronne.
Haute Couronne, c'est quoi?
It's a proper place to live. One of the most peaceful neighborhoods east of Jamrock. You may know it for its massive housing projects. Most of the buildings are empty at the moment. It's a great opportunity to get ahead of the crowds. Better times ahead for sure.
Vous gérez la boutique avec votre
He
mari?
made the initial investment. Since then, he's been what you might call a silent partner.
Super silent, almost inaudibly so.
M'a dit qu'elle n'est plus à
She's been
l'école.
too busy helping me here. So she studied at home this trimester. This is a temporary solution, of course. I assure you, I of all people understand the importance of education. She will be back in school the moment the store takes off.
Elle est en phonique.
Yes, I'm afraid so. A real treat she is. It would be nice if she had... No, we couldn't have afforded more children, really. Not in this economy.
A glimmer of sadness blinks through the well-crafted exterior.
Pourquoi?
We're quite busy people, you know, my husband and I. Quite busy. Children are a lot of work. You don't look like a father, so I don't expect you to understand. I'm sorry. I'm sure you do understand.
Très bien.
The woman looks aloof, her features much softer. Occasionally she glances at her daughter's silhouette.
Conseiller un livre?
Goodness, you were already doing good, browsing the shelves. Why'd you stop? Don't you feel compelled? Go, go. Get back there. The books await you.
She smiles and nods, seemingly relieved.
Hello again, esteemed officer, and welcome to crime.
Putain, je voulais lui raqueter de la monnaie là. La moulaga, bon, on se l'ouvre ce rideau là.
The curtains.
Merde.
You see some kind of charm, an irregular
Mais c'était
polyhedron.
pas ça.
This is a tradition inhabited. Aside from poking at it, just as you're about to pull apart the curtains, the petrified voice of the shop owner cries out.
Sir, don't touch that. I told you it's off limits for the customers.
C'est un main autour de ce pendentif, c'est toi triturant nerveusement le talisman.
Parapsychologically speaking, we're done if you decide to open them. I won't be held responsible for the consequences.
She looks away, mumbling. Why is everyone always messing with the curtains? Why can't they just buy books like normal people?
Ça problème malédiction, c'est ça dont vous avez peur?
No, it's just a storeroom for the employees, I told you. Now please step away from the curtains.
Je suis un agent de police, j'ai besoin de rentrer là-dedans.
It's not like anyone was killed there.
Elle s'interrompt brusquement, secouant la bouche de la main pour, comme pour avaler son franc-parler.
Sorry, I don't mean to be so impolite. Just please don't go there. I can't allow that.
The curtains do seem frail suddenly, not robust enough to contain a slippery darkness.
J'ai la sensation que cet endroit veut m'attirer, je dois enquêter au-delà.
You do? My God, even more reasons not to mess with the curtains.
Ouais, let's go.
Please just talk to me, officer. Come here and let's talk this through before you just...
Talking is always good. Go see what she has to say. The curtains, tattered with age and covered in dust, hang before you, as if taunting you.
Hello again, esteemed officer.
Pourquoi vous êtes
and
en cran au sujet de ces rideaux?
I already told you, it's just a storage room for employees. Just let it go, officer. Go buy some...
She's so tense, it's a miracle she hasn't snapped in half yet.
C'est juste un débarras, alors pourquoi vous êtes... c'est juste un débarras, alors pourquoi est-ce protégé par un sauce mayonnaise?
It's just for decoration. Okay, fine. It's just because this place is cursed, just like everyone said. They don't call it the doomed commercial area for nothing. Are you happy now, officer? Happy that you've ruined everything?
Quoi?
Host of hosts, she prays. Guard me and my honest business venture from the curse that lurks behind the curtains.
Pourquoi ne pas m'avoir dit directement qu'il s'agissait de la malédiction?
It's not good to talk about the curse, not in detail. The negativism, it's dangerous. Talking about the void wraiths angers them.
Wow. Void raves. You have new words. Such wraiths may prove a formidable enemy. Suit up.
Comment se manifeste cette malédiction?
It's so much worse than you could imagine. It's a disease, eating at the very foundation.
Un frisson parcourt la femme tandis qu'elle scrute les recoins sombres de la
It's the
boutique.
curse of financial distress, of ruin and bankruptcy.
Bon, je suis un peu paumé. Qu'est-ce que ça veut dire,
Everyone
là?
knows that all the previous companies in this building have sooner or later declared bankruptcy, and their malicious spirits are still here, feeding off bad business practices and disappointing income statements. There's something wrong with this building, I can tell you. Ever since I arrived, I've sensed an eerie, lingering presence, as if I was unwanted here.
Mais avoue que je me charge de l'affaire. Je peux enquêter et découvrir la malédiction si elle est bien réelle.
Most certainly not. I don't want anyone who's not familiar with the psychic arts to get involved in this mess. Stay away. Leave the spirits be, so they can...
My liege, you know what this case calls for? A para-detective.
Art dramatique.
Slither up to her, you silver-tongued fiend. Show her what world-class perfidy looks like.
Madame, je suis venu pour vous aider. Les situations paranormales, ça me connaît.
Sure?
Bien sûr.
Think I haven't seen charlatans before.
Je suis revenu de l'abysse, l'héritier d'une longue lignée de
You're
paradétectives.
no paradetective. You look nothing like one. And you're clearly a drinker. Pardon me for being so blunt, but...
You look like one. Hey now, hey. You need the booze to focus, alright? The lieutenant keeps his usual stony calm. He silently picks out his notebook.
J'avoue, j'ai tâté Hugolo à une époque, mais uniquement parce que le royaume spectral est parapsychologiquement déshydratant.
How do you know all this?
Here we go.
Ce sont les sauts qui m'ont d'abord conduit ici, et du sang sénénès coule dans mes veines. Oh non, mais...
You're part Simonese. Oh, it means our meeting couldn't have been mere chance.
Ouais, clairement.
The hand of but. I am not the only one at risk. I have to think of my daughter. You are certain you can help us? Keep us safe? I can't allow any collateral damage to hit us.
On a demandé simplement à Kim, je suis pas sûr qu'il aille dans le truc, mais... On va faire celui-là quand même, parce que Kim, je suis sûr qu'il va m'envoyer balader là.
If you promise, good officer, then you might be our last hope. Do you swear it?
Sur mon honneur.
Thank you, sir. There's one more thing I haven't told you about yet. The entity.
Do not act surprised. You know of these things, sire.
Bien évidemment, l'entité.
You have? The entity takes the form of a woman, a witch probably. I've suspected that she must be connected to the curse ever since I first saw her. Did you know that she lives inside the chimney?
Cheminant, le passage entre le ciel et l'enfer, évidemment.
That chimney is part of the building's central furnace, and it's enormous. She has barricaded herself behind some metal security curtains. God knows what she's doing there.
Ouais, c'est
Some
clair.
unnatural magic, I assume. You should go find the entity and ask what happened to all the companies in the building. What is the source of this curse? Here's the key to the warded door behind the curtains. Take it. Oh, and please do return to me after you've looked round. I'm quite anxious to know what she has to say about the curse. What you discover in there.
Ok.
Unbelievable darkness and ruin.
J'avais une ou deux questions à propos de la
Okay, but
malédiction.
please, only a few questions. You
Avez-vous
wouldn't want to
sollicité d'être
I've
quelconque?
contacted numerous parapsychologists and even a pair of Simonese mediators. They provided me with the wards. The wards help to keep the doom at bay and protect us against the darkness that lies further in the building.
Votre pendentif fait
Even
aussi
though now
partie
I
de
see
ces
it.
sauts, non?
Oh, this? No, it's a special Himian amulet, blessed by desert pygmy shamans, with a spell of compulsion. It's to compel people to buy books.
Ouais.
There are numerous spells cast throughout the store. I had the books anointed with a different inducement spell, for example. It's guaranteed to boost sales 15%.
Desert pygmy shamans. That sounds like a rather questionable way to describe a group of people. The woman looks aloof. her feet. You see a set of tattered curtains blocking the way to... You see a dimly lit room full of dusty furniture and trash. A doorway stands in the back, covered in dozens of scary little Seminese wards, your shadow looming over it like an omen.
Oh!
Quoi? Oh, elle m'a filé les clés. Non, c'est pas pour y aller. Silhouette fantomatique, sèche-cheveux. Portrait d'un homme vaguement androgyne. La seconde de cheveux féminins menace votre masculine. Non mais... le truc c'est qu'il est 19h10 dans le jeu. Et minuit 21 déjà.
With a missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens, if not hundreds, of Seminese trinkets and charms. It appears to be locked.
De voyer la porte avec la
After
clé.
exerting some force, you manage to turn the key. It's eerily silent. The door slides slightly open, letting a draft of cold air into the room.
Ouvrir la porte à entrer. Donc Kim, il a envie de me parler, je crois.
What is this place?
C'est une aventure.
No, it's a gym. Though it looks like no one's been here in ages. I doubt the electricity still works. Good thing we have a flashlight on us. Don't forget to take it out of your bag before we move on.
Some specks of dust shimmer in a ray of streetlight falling from the window. Other than that, the room is dark. An eerie feeling rises in your chest.
Sounds good.
Continuons. Bah, il m'a dit d'équiper la lampe torche. Mais j'en ai une de lampe torche. Ouais, c'est vrai. Écrit Situs Fortis. Restez effacé. Oh la boule! Oh, j'ai la boule pour les Mongols. Là. Ça sent la sueur et le cuir. Bah, un peu mon neveu.
A barbell lies on the floor. The color has worn off its weight plates. It's 60 kilograms. Your triceps hum at the sight of these weights. Show the world what kind of beast it's stealing. There are no collars on the barbell. This is a safety hazard.
Eh, Kim, c'est un piège, il n'y a aucune porte sur le terre.
You're right. The weight may fall off. Better not touch it then.
Ok, c'est tordu pour enlever les pinces de Alter. C'est vrai.
It would be a violation of EPIS safety regulations if the gym was still operating, but it isn't. No.
Ah bon, on s'en balèque. Je vais pas peser. Enfin, je vais pas faire le kekos là. Pas que ça à foutre. Bon, bah, y'a chi en vrai. Ça, c'est parfait. Il vivait dans une cheminée, trouve un moyen d'entrer. Ah oui, mais d'accord, il y a un truc ici. J'avais pas vu. Très bien. Grosse dame Jeanne remplie d'un étrange liquide. Des animaux sauvages empaillés accrochés au mur vous observent dans l'obscurité. Très bien. Des rotors de dirigeables recouverts de toiles d'araignée. Oh, de l'argent. Torse de mannequin nu, d'une étrange couleur jaunâtre. Si on peut ces vêtements, on se pose tous la question. Velours bleu.
This appears to be some kind of
Il y a une
machine
machine
with
avec
a
une...
cube-shaped heart and a wired framework. The keyboard has a rectangular on-off button, a piece of...
A radio computer. just sitting here without anyone inside.
Surprise et méfiance se mêlent dans
What
sa
he
voix.
means is that these things cost money. Why would anyone just leave it behind? This is the Ream Civic radio computer, model RC5120, equipped with a Feld mainframe and a Ream-compatible printer.
J'ai eu ma
We
batterie.
had one of these down at the station, but I never really learned how to use it.
The machine lights up like some prehistoric animal stirring from its slumber, revealing fluorescent play and print keys on the keyboard. The hatch on the machine's central compartment is wide open.
Regardez à
It's
l'intérieur.
empty like a beehive without its brood.
This is where the memory should go.
Pied sur
Nothing
lecture.
happened. Something's missing. There's no tape in the player.
Pied sur lecture.
Nothing happens. Something's missing. Nothing happens.
Mais j'ai pas de la tape justement là. Je peux pas la mettre la tape dedans.
Tiles on the cube are still small. It's empty.
This is where the memory should go.
Gravez sur un carnet des développeurs RPG plus avancé de l'univers.
This old fireplace is covered in lines drawn in blue and red marker, the mesh spreading over the stone like blood vessels on alabaster skin. It looks ghostly and strangely ancient. The whole thing resembles Kadran mosaic tiles. Very pesantic.
Tout je connais ça moi, la mosaïque de Kedra.
History classes, students with their textbooks open, studying the roots of our civilization. Those aquarelle blue tiles looked beautiful in the sun.
Qu'est-ce que c'est que
Radio
ça?
frequencies, it seems. UKV 123.6, UKV 123.7, UKV 123.9. Some
Des fréquences
unclear.
radio, mais qu'est-ce que c'est que ça?
It looks like a cardiovascular system split into veins and capillaries. Very advanced.
Alors c'est un truc
You think
médical,
so?
c'est ça?
The web is comprised of radio stations, all lead back to one red heart, titled the Game Master Frequency. A note says, this one can listen in on any station it wants. They must have had massive airwidth. These things don't come cheap.
C'est qui le meilleur de jeu?
Someone very important. A conductor for the hundreds of story threads that pass through the Game Master's frequency.
C'est un jeu qui s'y
Whoever
joue.
decides to call in to a call-in station, it looks like. A list of names under the stations suggests people across 6 Isolas would be playing. Muindi, Insulinda, Kotla, Grad, Samara, and even Ilmara. There's no way a little basement studio working here could pull anything like this off.
My God. It's as if the less money they had, the more ambitious their project became.
La bande aérienne devrait côté les yeux de la tête.
Exactly. This schedule, I know doom when I see it. The company was running out of funding.
Le planning. Quoi d'autre?
Nothing. It's just lines on marble. An echo from times long gone. No one has used the fireplace in ages. Your flashlight slides over an old green chalkboard covered in scribbles, sketches, and schemes like some ancient cave mural. Some of the writing has faded with age, but you can still make out sections here and there. Photos and drawings have been pinned to the board. These lithe, pointy-eared creatures appear to be different types of welkins. You make out autumnal candle welkins casting wax-based magic. Translucent welkins with organs shining under their skin, and even ether welkins Hey, you should adopt one of those Welkins as your persona. No longer a mere man, but a Welkin. One of the Welkins, towering among the rest, appears to be different, however. It's Vara
Je me fais
Hamira,
brasser
a
là.
high Welkin, his face white and scarred like cracked marble.
Ouais.
This is clearly a Welkin supremacist. The note says, all the Haldor, the Twarg, the humans, and even headless men, all of them, purged. Imagine a world filled only with...
An inordinate amount of time has gone into drawing these little welking creatures. Political commentary. That one has a great beard too.
Pourquoi passer autant de
Some
temps à
people
les
really
dessiner?
like building a world, I think, even if it's just for a game.
Qui sont ces créatures? Qui les a dessinées?
This looks like concept art for a project. It's not really real.
Très bien.
Just look at those details. So much effort.
The photo collage depicts barren, icy landscapes wrapped in perpetual night. You see permafrost and glacial landforms, dead trees grown in under the entire oceans have been frozen from shore to shore. There are pictures of settlements on dried up riverbeds, abandoned in a storm. Animal corpses in the dark, carcasses and bones. You see primitive oil rigs built into glaciers, boreal dvorg, yurts under the snow, great mammoth-like beasts of burden. Albeit dark and cold, this vision also feels cozy in its own way, like eggnog or morphine. A much-needed respite from a pinned postcard reads, "This is a monthly calendar from the year 50. Cryptic words like sprint, daily minimi, and GPI span the marker-drawn grid, the grand scheme of production, and it looks a bit like an academic calendar, only much more brutal. Minimi stands for a mini-meeting. It's part of a bigger framework for managing work called RUN. Station 41 tried to implement it a few years ago, but failed. As time goes on, the numbers in the boxes grow rarer and rarer. The board becomes an empty snowfield in the final days. Only failure and regret dwell in this region.
Incroyable, Mehdi. Udivitelny, c'est ça? Udivitelny. Je sais pas. Comment on va? Passer un week-end, gros?
A note in the bottom left corner of the chalkboard says, "See the prod schedule filament for detail." The handwriting is only partly legible, but you can still make out 3 slogans: "Call in, tune out," "Wirral untethered," and "Heat death of the universe." The full text reads, "Heat death of the universe is the new black." Another note says, "The biggest advancement in role-playing systems since the 30s.
Oh my goodness, oh my damn, je suis en train de me faire giga full brasser. J'ai un point de talent. Bah écoute, tranquille, hein. Petit week-end pépouze. J'ai un point de talent, on met ça dans quoi? Suggestion, ça m'intéresse. Coordination visio-tactile. Instrument physique. Pour le sac à merde, là. Peut-être que je up à mort mon instrument physique, hein, je lui casse la gueule à l'autre là-haut, là. Le problème, c'est que... Ah, ou alors c'est conceptualisation. Soyez créatif et recevez l'art du monde qui vous entoure. En fait, c'est conceptualisation qui me permet d'avoir des points de conceptualisation, je sais pas quoi, là. C'est où? C'est là. Tiroir à réflexion. D'interiorisation temporaire. Ah, déverrouiller. Un nouvel emplacement. Ah, ça me coûte un point de talent, ces bats. Non, mais vraiment, j'ai pas du tout envie de commencer à intérioriser la théorie des races. Hein. Marave le gamin. Ah non, mais là, c'est parti en sucette. Là, je suis allé voir les grévistes. Je suis allé voir la boutique. Et là, je suis dans l'arrière-garde de la boutique. C'est marrant. Où on est en train de brasser tout les Mongols. Là. Non, mais en vrai, je crois que je vais mettre de l'instrument physique et je vais y casser la gueule, non? Je crois en plus que le saut, c'est de l'instrument physique aussi, non? Faut que je revoie le saut, là, ce qu'il me faut. On va peut-être wait un peu, là. Avant de claquer le point tout de suite, là, sachant que je vais me mettre en PLS. Attends, parce que j'ai pas fini de visiter là.
Okay. What do you think is going on with that computer, chalkboard and fireplace?
Bah, on dirait un programme secret de contre-espionnage, ouais.
No, that's not it. I think...
Like he's ready to lay out a fine theory, crafted together like a puzzle box.
Ça craint un peu. Ouais. En fait, il y a un mongol, c'est soit... Enfin, il y a un mongol qui m'empêche d'accéder à un truc que je veux. Et pour ça, c'est soit j'intériorise sa théorie des genres, théorie des races de merde. Mais bon, c'est un gros fils de schlag et le mec m'a brassé pendant 30 minutes sur sa daube. Soit je lui casse la gueule. Bon. J'ai envie de dire que lui casser la gueule, ça peut passer, quoi.
It looks like one of those popular pen and paper role-playing games.
Dans le doute.
Only these people were trying to automate it, make it work on radio computers.
C'était un jeu de rôle?
Indeed. Those Welkins are a dead giveaway. Role-playing people love that stuff. The world looks like a modified version of the WeWorld board game, with hit death thrown in.
Mais qu'est-ce qu'il me raconte?
Someone should give them millions of real immediately. This game is too good to be left unfinished.
Ouais. Comment prévoit-il de faire
calling
fonctionner?
stations. None of the players have to be physically present. Anyone in the world can participate in the game, as long as they have a two-way radio. Then there's the game master frequency that listens in on the smaller calling stations. I think that was supposed to coordinate the stories, functioning...
His fascination has swept aside other concerns for the moment. He's a little hooked. Coordinating so many games would take a whole switchboard of people, possibly divided into sub-frequencies.
C'est la première fois que quelqu'un fait un truc de
Not
genre?
to my knowledge. They make automated games in Grad, Messina, Königstein. You know, places with industry.
Not in Revachol West, among the ruins.
But I don't think anyone has attempted to create an inter-isolary game before. We just don't have the technology.
Qu'est-ce arrivé à
No
cette
idea.
entreprise?
They stopped filling out the schedule on the chalkboard. Indeed, it's ambitious and untethered from reality, but...
Tu peux casser un facho, alors fais-toi plaisir. Non, pas dire ça comme ça. Faut essayer de raisonner, si tu peux. C'est compliqué, quoi. En fait, j'en ai un peu rien à cirer. C'est juste que c'est un mec qui bloque l'entrée des travailleurs parce que parce qu'il est payé par le syndic pour foutre la merde. En fait, c'est là où c'est marrant, c'est que c'est un fasciste qui bosse pour des communistes qui empêchent des capitalistes d'aller bosser, quoi. Ça fait un peu le bordel, mais c'est un peu résumé comme ça, quoi. Là, je t'avoue que ce live, ça a été la politique du coin, là. Là, on a bouffé de la politique. Juste mascara pour siphonner de l'argent de poche aux investisseurs. On a de l'argent, donnant encore plus d'argent pour qu'ils puissent terminer le jeu et en encore plus d'énormes. Ouais, mais s'il n'y a plus personne. Un rouge brun. Ça existe vraiment ça?
It's too late for that, I'm afraid.
À mon avis, ouais. Il tient en regardant la pièce délabrée autour de lui. Les tuyaux grincent et traversent
Okay,
la pièce.
let's keep moving.
Oh putain. Les pales de rotor en acier portant le logo sillage. Les skis avec les marques sillage imprimées sur les couches supérieures en bois. Qu'avons-nous là? Mémoire filamentelle, planning de production. Ah mais c'est ça qui va là-dedans, non?
Tiles on the cube are
Un
stuck
seul
like a
planning.
smooth draw. The filament slides into place. On the keyboard, the play key starts blinking.
Puis de nouveau
A
sur
bar
lecture.
of fabric right above the keyboard starts producing a soft hum. The sound of static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver.
Ça
The
existe, hein, mais je
static
savais pas
gets
du tout.
louder, slowly filling up the abandoned hall, until a voice speaks out, crackling and old, cutting.
Good evening, Fortress accident en rue de Saint-Ghislaine. This is East Insulindian Repeater Station 1. Please repeat. Is this the production schedule?
C'est quoi le planning de
The
production?
filament you have inserted into the reader.
Oh putain, l'accent quoi. Les chemins brillants que j'ai mis dedans, vous voulez dire?
Yes. Is that the product?
Oui.
Good. Please repeat the password.
J'aurais été en mot de passe, vous pouvez pas me faire un indice?
A hint system is not part of the protocol for repeater stations.
Ce sera pas mon anniversaire?
No.
Vous pouvez pas le mot de passe.
I will register this login attempt.
Don't worry. Passwords have a way of turning up sooner or later.
Fortress accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today?
C'est mon mot de passe du planning de production.
Please repeat the password. Received.
Don't worry.
Fortress accident. Is there anything?
Pourquoi vous m'appelez Fortress?
Accident is the company on whose name the terminal you are currently using has been registered to.
Vous avez d'autres informations sur cette entreprise? Vous l'entendez tourner les pages de son catalogue, puis elle se met à lire d'une voix appliquée.
Fortress accident SCA produces revolutionary interactive call-in radio games. That's what the catalog says.
That's not bad.
C'est de bonne augure. Eh bien, c'est tout un concept. C'est quoi ces jeux radio interactifs?
Any other questions?
C'est quoi, vous, une machine ou une vraie personne?
Yes, I am alive. I am 74 years old and my name is Yvonne.
Yvonne. Ça se fait que beaucoup de personnes ont un accent à couper au couteau. Je pense que le jeu est français. Et à mon avis, ça les amusait de prendre des doubleurs FR. Ou peut-être qu'ils avaient pas forcément les moyens. C'était pas forcément une grosse prod non plus. Je sais pas trop. Moi qui communique sur CSGO, ouais. Non mais je trouve ça une touch. Moi j'aime bien. Ça me dérange pas en fait.
She repeats passwords. Programming people are all paranoid.
Mais vous êtes où? Comment vous savez où
I
je suis?
work as a repeater at the East Insulindian Repeater Station. It's my job to know where you are, Fortress accident. As for me, well, I am sitting in my cubicle, surrounded by a wall of radios. Now, Please tell me if there's any. Thank you.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering, casting the framework in a soft glow. Fluorescent play and print keys shine on the keyboard. The filament slides out of its glowing nest.
Ok. Je le récupère parce que je vais peut-être pas le laisser là. J'avais ça là-bas que je n'ai pas ouvert. Oh merde. Oh non, est-ce que c'était le moment là?
Yes?
Non.
An iron safety curtain curves before your eyes, folded like a bellows. It covers half the room, blocking the way into a colossal industrial chimney. This must be where the entity lives. What an odd thing to do. Nothing, still nothing. Those curtains prove to be surprisingly sturdy. Your fist. If this is really an entrance to the chimney, then there must be a furnace somewhere as well. Maybe there's another way to get in.
Can you please try to refrain from attacking random things?
Ben, je trouve l'entité malveillante, Kim. C'est pas le premier objet venu, c'est un objet tout à fait crucial.
Something on the other side necessarily. In any case, there's no way we can get in right now.
Carte postale. Ah, vous avez mal au point, mais ça c'est le jeu. Hein. Le jeu est taquin avec ça. Et heureusement, là j'ai gagné 2 points là-dessus. Vous pouvez croire que je suis refait. Oh putain, mais du magnésium. Alors c'est écroulé, impossible d'y accéder. Machine à glace décongelée, débranchée. C'est un frigo ça? Un frigo ours?
A terrifying ice bear with a strange compartment in its belly. The door is covered in frost and the bear's
énorme.
eyes. The bear looks oddly realistic. Is it taxidermy?
C'est quoi ce truc où on dirait un ours de glace géant?
The lieutenant doesn't answer. His eyes are glued to the animal.
Ouais,
a gust of freezing cold air rushes to greet you. You hear a low grumble as the bear regulates itself. This is the inside of a refrigerator. The lieutenant takes a peek inside. His hand has found the holster.
Faut se détendre, c'est un frigo.
Of course, just a giant ice bear-shaped fridge.
Ça se relâche tandis que son visage baigne dans une lumière crue de l'ouverture.
Let's take a look inside.
The shelves are empty. All you see are crumpled ice cream wrappers with the brand name, Revachol Ice City. A handwritten note has been attached to the door. The fridge is huge.
J'aime bien des emballages de glace à
A friendly
l'intérieur.
cartoon bear smiles back at you from a glossy cellophane wrapper. It looks nothing like the fridge. The paper still smells of vanilla and chocolate.
Ah. Que fait ce frigo en forme d'ours au milieu d'une cave abandonnée?
It looks like an ice cream fridge.
Merci. Le lieutenant saisit l'un des emballages et examine de celui-là. Quand ils vendent des glaces à Elisabeth.
What an unfortunate marketing choice.
Acquiesce le lieutenant.
What is even worse, the bear is still costing them money to this day.
Le lieutenant monte du doigt le câble rouge qui part du réfrigérateur en serpentant. La facture d'électricité doit être colossale, tu m'étonnes.
Catastrophic.
Alors, si tu bois un truc, tu meurs pas d'une cirrhose. Bah franchement, on n'est pas loin.
Pocket the note and the little fridge magnets keeping it on the door.
Si, le jeu il est salaud, hein. Il est salaud de ouf. Note manuscrite, interagir.
The note is written with a blue pencil on a piece of lined office paper. The kitchen magnets have left spots on its surface.
Does it say anything interesting?
Le temps s'approche pour lire la note froissée par-dessus votre épaule.
This is tangential at best, but the lieutenant's detective instinct is still active.
Ah, la
Someone
note.
has scribbled. S. I can't believe the off-site copy is still here. The illiterate ginger kid keeps stealing stuff from the studio, so I had to hide it somewhere safe.
Ah.
You'll find the filament memory with the off-site copy in the frozen ice cream maker. Please take it home.
Tu trouveras la mémoire filamentaire
It's
avec la
important.
copie hors site dans la
I'd
machine
do
à
it
glace.
myself if I lived in a civilized place with a freezer. Take care, Sully Soif.
Looks like someone from that radio game company upstairs. I'm a little surprised they just left their property lying here.
Ils ont dû partir en vitesse.
That's a plausible hypothesis.
Bah, le jeune rouquin d'alphabet, c'est
Really?
Kuno, non?
You don't have a single guess?
Pas de
Oh,
Kuno.
I'm sure that child would love to get his hands on a filament memory. Even if he doesn't know what to do with it, he'd probably try to pawn it for speed, based on our encounter.
Pas faux. Ouais, déjà, c'est quoi une mémoire
It belongs
filamentaire?
inside a radio computer, storing its memory. It's like a tape. You listen to disco tapes, right? It's like one of your disco tapes, only for a computer.
It's like the production schedule you found. Only this one's an off-site copy.
Vous la moindre idée de l'endroit où on pourrait se trouver cette machine à
I
glace?
don't know. I assume it's somewhere close to the iceberg fridge.
A thick layer of coal dust covers
Alors,
the
une importance,
furnace,
je pense que oui.
coloring it pitch black.
Vous savez ce que c'est, Kim? Une sorte de chaudière? Non mais attendez, on va... Je pense qu'on va s'arrêter là en vrai. Oui, l'heure a à mon avis une importance et c'est surtout qu'il va falloir dormir à un moment. Et le problème c'est que j'ai pas du tout réuni la thune nécessaire pour pouvoir dormir à l'hôtel. Oh, j'ai 15 quêtes, c'est horrible. Après j'ai plusieurs trucs à demander à Kuno là. C'est attardé de Kuno quoi, mais il va me saouler encore. J'ai un point de talent que je vais pouvoir bientôt dépenser dans un truc. Mais à mon avis, comme j'ai dit, instrument physique, on va essayer de passer en force contre l'autre con là. J'avais mis un point dans réactivité. Pourquoi j'ai mis un point dans réactivité? Affinité mécanique, c'est bien ça. Encyclopédie. Hein. Production analytique, c'est cool aussi. Hein. Très bien, merci, merci beaucoup YouTube, des bisous, à la prochaine. Bon, on avance, hein. On avance, il y a beaucoup de choses, et beaucoup de choses à retenir et que je retiens de moins en moins, donc ça va être au secours tiers. Je sens que je vais m'y perdre là, je sens que d'ici deux lives, je saurai plus où je suis. Mon jeu de c'est mort.